Poor performance, making mistakes, not helping the team in the P2 battle, consistent crashes. One of the biggest stories of the season has of course been how Aston Martin has been able to make this jump forward. Alonso has been the one that everyone in the paddock and online has been talking about, but his teammate Lance Stroll, who has to play a significant role if Aston Martin wants to be successful and finish P2 this season. As you probably already know, Lance Stroll owns the team, so Lance pretty much has a lifetime contract with the team, but this may have to be ripped up very soon. Stroll knows he is the second driver to Fernando Alonso, but he's expected to be close to Alonso whenever he can, but he simply just not has been in and around him. With Mercedes and Ferrari having both their drivers at the top, it means that Aston Martin has to have both of their drivers at the top if they want any chance of finishing P2 in the Constructors' Championship behind Red Bull. The battle in 2023 is all around P2 in the championship, and Aston Martin has the car to be able to do this, and it would be a huge achievement if they do so, but Stroll has to step up his performances to do so. In today's video, we will be talking about how Lance should possibly lose his seat if he does not get closer to Alonso, how poor Stroll has been this season, and finally, how he is making constant crashes such as in Monaco and making mistakes. Let's get right into it. To start off with, we will be talking about the title of this video and how Lance Stroll should probably be replaced sooner rather than later. The biggest issue in why Stroll will probably stay at Aston Martin for a long time is how his dad owns the team and makes all of the choices when it comes to which driver in the team they want to sign and keep. It will take a lot for him to just go and sack his own son, but it may be what's best for business, and in Formula 1, you have to be very ruthless when it comes to be wanting the best. Lance isn't exactly a rookie. He has been in the sport for some time now and should be performing at a high level for Aston Martin. Yes, he had some injuries at the start of the season, but they are now fully healed, so he has no excuse for some of the poor showings he has had in recent times. He's racing against one of the best drivers ever in Fernando Alonso, who anyone will struggle to beat, but he has to be getting the points every race for the car that he has. Aston Martin will probably give it up until the end of the season to see if he picks the performances up, but his father may have a tough decision to make if the team fail to take P2 in the Constructors' Championship. Now, what could the possible replacements be if Stroll does actually get replaced? Well, one name which has come up since Aston Martin signed the deal with Honda is Yuki Tsunoda. So far in 2023, he has stepped up his performances, and of course, he is Japanese, and Honda is a Japanese brand, and it will be great marketing for both sides. Then you look at some of the more younger, talented, such as Lando Norris and Alex Albon, who are in cars not as quick where they probably deserve to be in a better car. There of course will be a lot of drivers in the midfield who will be wanting that seat in Aston Martin if it does come available in the near future. But it does come down to if Aston Martin and Lance Stroll do replace Lance Stroll by the end of the season if he does not step up his pace and performance. What do you think? Should Lance Stroll be replaced? And if so, who should he be replaced by? Make sure to drop a comment below and let us know what you think. Our next topic will be about how poor Lance Stroll has actually been this season when you look at the car that he has. In the race in Bahrain, he finished P6, which was very good considering he could hardly turn the wheel fully due to his injury to his wrist, which was impressive. In Saudi Arabia, he still had the injury to his wrist, but he had a mechanical DNF, which was no fault of his own. But in both of these races, Alonso would be on the podium. Down under in Australia, he would finish P4 after all of his injuries had healed, showing how he was still in the fight. But once again, Alonso would be on the podium in P3. Baku would not be the best for Stroll, as he finished P7, whilst again, Alonso would beat him and finished in P4, which is not a good look at all. Miami would be shocking for Lance, with him just struggling, and he would finish outside the points in P12, whilst he would watch Alonso getting all the praise for standing on the podium once again. The most recent race from which we are speaking is Monaco, which was yet again another poor race where Stroll would finish last, DNF after an awful weekend. And guess what? Alonso would stand on the podium in P2 this time. In every single race so far this season, he has been beaten by Alonso, with the Spaniard taking home 77% of the team's points all the way up to Monaco. Now, it is not something to be ashamed point off of being beaten by Fernando Alonso, but not to be even close to him in most races is something which is very worrying and why he should possibly be replaced very soon. Aston Martin has this goal of finishing P2 in the standings, but they cannot do this with just one driver, and it's something that Lance Stroll has to improve on if he wants to stay in the green machine. It is now all down to Stroll as the pressure is mounting on him as every single race passes to see if he can step up his performances, or he may be dropped by his own father. I guess we'll have to wait and find out. Our third and final topic is about how he is having constant crashes such as in Monaco, which can be costly for the team's points, but also for the team when it comes to the cost cap. In Monaco, Stroll was very accident prone with him going into the barrier and clashing with other drivers, which caused damage to his car. And overall, it was just a shocking weekend for him, and it was showing the black and white flags for driving standards. He was unlucky in qualifying, getting floor damage from some debris, which meant he was not in Q3, and the chances of points are very slim if you start out in the top 10. But in Monaco was just poor, and something that he has got to get out of his game if he wants to keep his seat at a top team now in Aston Martin. Stroll throughout his whole career has always had an accident in him, whether that be with the barriers or another driver. It is a weakness as he is not exactly inexperienced. In Australia, he was the man who took out Leclerc at the start of the race and also nearly took out his teammate in the very first race of the season, which would have been a bad start to their relationship. Not every driver is perfect, that's for sure, but having crashes consistently for someone who wants to stay in the top team, who on pace probably is the second quickest car, is not good at all. If he was not the son of the owner and having these crashes that cost the team points but a lot of money, would he be replaced? That is the question to ask here. Stroll is very lucky with the situation he is in, as he could make mistakes and the team just sweep it under the rug and forget about it. Overall, it has got to be said that Stroll is walking a tightrope, and his career at Aston Martin could be coming to an end. Will his father sack his own son, even if it is hurting the team in a number of ways? We don't have the answers for you right now, but I guess we'll have to find out in the very near future about what happens with Lance Stroll. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and make sure you hit that like button and subscribe for more videos just like this one.